Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Baseball with the Earle brothers. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here by my brother Tim, and today we get phase 2 of All-Star Game voting. We're down to our final 2 or 5 in the outfield, and we're going to be voting on who should be the starter for each position in each league. Now.
Also, can we bring up some snubs as well as we go through it?
Yes, we will absolutely bring up some snubs. I think we should save that to the end of the video. At the end of the video, we will give out at least 2 snubs each, or at least 1 snub each.
Yeah.
I think there's a very obvious one that we can talk about later. But
yes,
we gotta keep the viewers interested. So snubs coming later, and maybe we can do a video later once the rosters are announced to give out actual snubs for players who missed the game completely that should have made it. So we'll get it started though. We have the first one here, Tim. Paul Goldschmidt and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Take a look at these 2 players' stats real quick because because I have if it'll work, that'd be cool. I have a stat comparison between these 2 players where I don't think it's particularly close between these 2 with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I don't know why at the stage it's not working.
And I'm going to quickly mention before we jump into a lot of this. There are going to be some of these that we'll debate for a couple minutes. There will be a couple of them that have no business being debated. So
this is one of them that have no business being debated, honestly. They've played Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has played 2 games more this year than Paul Goldschmidt, but he has 4 more home runs, 12 more RBIs. He has the same batting average, a better OPS, a better slug, a better OPS, on base percentage, and OPS, and he has more hits. And he has higher WAR. I don't know how this is discussion right now. I don't know how Paul Goldschmidt made it, to be completely honest.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my snubs coming up is Jonathan Aranda, who should definitely be in
absolutely. And some of these that we'll talk about, and I guess we can discuss snubs when we get to that position then. But there's no reason we should be talking about Paul Goldschmidt right now. Yeah, he's been good this year, but Aranda has been better. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is the easy vote in this one.
100%. I didn't even, and we're going to keep clicking back and forth. I didn't even think twice about it. This one was one of the obvious ones. If it was Aranda and Guerrero, we would have a competition. It's not.
Yeah, it's unfortunate how many players got snubbed because a Yankee or a Dodger, specifically a Dodger, made it.
Nick, I see your tab going. Are we going by position or are we going by first base, second base, or first, second, third, and then we'll go to the American League?
We're going American League first, then National League.
Heard. Okay. Then we'll go to the next one, which there might be a little bit more of an argument than we think.
Yeah, not really, though, in my opinion. I still think that there is a kind of clear choice. We have Gleyber Torres versus Jackson Holliday. Jackson Holliday has more hits, has more home runs, has more stolen bases, and that's it. He's also played 5 more games. Gleyber Torres has more RBIs, has a better batting average, better on-base percentage, better slugging, better OPS plus, and a higher WAR. I think that Gleyber Torres is the vote for this one here. And he was my vote in phase 1, and he's my vote in phase 2 again. He's been the best second baseman in the American League, which kind of shows how bad the American League for this position is, that Gleyber Torres is your leader. But he's kind of gotten slept on a little bit. And I know a lot of Yankee fans were ready to get rid of him last year during the offseason. I said, he was pretty good. He was okay with the Yankees. You guys just had a really negative bias towards him for whatever reason. And he's showing now that he's a good baseball player. So I think Gleyber gets my vote here.
I want to say Gleyber, yes. I feel like Jackson Holliday is going to be the only – I know this is going to sound crazy. Ready? Holliday is going to be the only All-Star from the Orioles.
Nope. Well, we could talk about the other one and a little bit later.
There's no other player that's good. Oh, Ryan O'Hearn. I forgot about him because I already see him on another team.
Also, Tim, when we did phase one, the obvious choice there was Rafael Devers.
Correct. But I'm going to go Glaber. I'm going to go Glaber here. But I could make the argument for Jackson. I feel like this one's a lot closer than you think.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I don't think it's as close as you think, but I can understand Jackson Holiday getting in the final two here.
But so yes, we did go with Glaber Torres. So Vladdy and Glaber Torres started off. I'm gonna say this next one. Let's not even bother bringing up the stats, Nick.
Yeah.
Because it's Jose Ramirez and it's not even close. Also, Bregman's still injured. So.
Yeah, I agree there. We don't have to spend too much time on there. Bregman's a great player. He's had a good year, but he's been hurt.
Yeah,
and I don't think even if he gets voted, he'll what do you call it? He'll make it in. But then we'll head to the next one then.
Yes.
This was a fun one that we had this discussion, and now looking at their stats though, I don't know about this one as much because I voted Jacob Wilson the first time around. Bobby Witt probably deserves it a little bit more. Looking at it. For this final one here. He has more WAR. He's only played 4 more games. He has 1.8 more WAR. Jacob Wilson has more hits. Bobby Witt has more home runs, more RBIs. But when you look at the slash lines, the batting average, the on-base percentage are towards Jacob Wilson. So is the OPS. This is a really interesting discussion between Jacob Wilson and Bobby Witt. What's your thought process on this one? Because the more and more I look at the numbers, the more and more I think it's Bobby Witt.
I want to go Bobby Witt. Jacob Wilson has been fantastic. I'm not going to sell him short. Jacob Wilson has been one of the best offensive pieces for the Oakland Athletics this year. Yep. And he's going to run away with Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
It's not particularly close, but I don't know if I can necessarily get involved in putting him as a starter. He's I don't want to call him a Luis Ariz, but he's
better than Luis Ariz. I'm sorry, don't even compare him to Luis Ariz. He's the most overrated player in baseball.
I mean, what does Jacob Wilson do though?
He hits. I mean, here's the thing though. Ready? He has 9 home runs. Show me a year where Luis Ariz had 9 home runs.
No, I'm not saying that. And Jacob Wilson was a highly touted prospect, I believe. Where was he out of?
He was
out of high school,
I believe.
But no, I'm gonna go with Bobby Witt though. I'm gonna go with Bobby Witt.
Yeah, no, I agree with that one there. We can go with Bobby Witt.
I feel like you really have to have a truly exceptional year, and when somebody's almost double WAR on you, I have to go with Bobby Witt. I'm pretty. I want to just go and say catcher. We shouldn't even have to talk about.
No, I'm starting to type in the. I'm starting.
But okay, it's obviously Cal Raleigh. Yes. But we'll just go ahead and glaze him for a minute.
Yeah, Cal Raleigh's been ridiculous this year. He now is up to 33 home runs, which is the most by a catcher in the first half. And he is on pace to have the most home runs for a catcher all time. And he's also doing it with pretty good defense as well. So he is by and far the best catcher in baseball. I don't think it's particularly close. So I have no problem kind of giving him the automatic vote here for us without even like looking at it too much.
Yep.
And just going like that.
It's just not even a conversation for me. I know he's the second best odds to win MVP in the American League, but he's my MVP right now. What he is doing for his team, especially if the Seattle Mariners make the playoffs, he's the MVP. I strongly believe that he's the MVP. So this one's not even close. I'm just taking Cal Raleigh and moving on.
Yeah, I am as well. And here's the ultimate question is, what does he have to do in order to win the MVP away from Judge? Because you got to keep in mind Judge is still having a ridiculous year as well, stuff that we haven't seen, and he's hitting close to 400, and he's playing defense unlike another MVP from last year that we won't discuss, but he's actually playing defense, and he's putting up the numbers he has. I think in order for Cal Raleigh to win the MVP, we have to look at a 50 to 55 home run season from him.
I was going to say at least 55 homers and at least 125 RBIs, 130 RBIs.
Plus catching position as well should get some credit. Like, if you have the best catching season of all time, you should win the MVP.
I agree. But that will take us to outfield, and I feel like it's a game of one of these things just doesn't belong here.
Yeah. Here's an interesting one. Riley Green. By the way, Aaron Judge is already.
I was just about to say Judge is in, so I was thinking of it being like, oh, 3 of them have to get it. No, Judge is already in, so you have to pick 2.
Judge is already in, so we are deciding the other 2. The first one is clear and obvious from this page. It's Riley Green.
Yes, I agree.
He's been phenomenal this year. 19 home runs, 63 RBIs, slashing 296, 348, 539 for an 887 OPS. He's been awesome this year. He is clear and obvious a starter for me, and he gets my vote here. No problems whatsoever there.
Nope, none at all.
Stephen Kwan's the other one.
I'll have the argument with you on that one.
I think the only other argument you can make is Javier Baez.
Okay, I'm way off on you then.
I'm not making the argument for Trout because he's only played 57 games.
All right, if he's only played 57 games, Ronald Acuna Jr. has played like 30, and he's getting voted in.
Yeah, cool.
It doesn't matter.
I'm not voting for him, personally.
All right,
but
that's fair.
I get that. For me, Kwan. I think Kwan deserves some love, and he would be my vote. He had 3.2 WAR. He's an elite defensive outfielder as well. Something to keep in mind there is that not only he brings you pretty high batting average, hitting 295, 358, 419 for a 777 OPS with elite defense. I think it's about time, and an elite bat to ball. I think it's about time that Kwan gets some respect, and he gets my vote for the last one here.
See, when I went and said one of these things just doesn't belong here, it's Javier Baez. I know he's having a good year. I don't think he deserves it.
I think he deserves to make it. But
I will say the fact that, and yes, Stephen Kwan is an average guy. Good for him. The fact that, other than that, Trout's more homers, more RBIs, higher OPS. Like, I want to go Trout. I understand the art. For me, it's Trout, Kwan, and Baez. 1, 2, 3 in that order. I know you'll probably go Kwan, Baez, Trout just to get your vote to Kwan, but I think it's Trout.
I would give it to Trout over Baez. I think Baez deserves to be in the All-Star game. He doesn't deserve to start. I guess we can give it to Trout, but I wanted to give some love to Stephen Kwan.
Because I think about it, Trout's actually healthy this year. How many more years are you going to get a healthy Trout in an All-Star game?
Okay, so this is like a nostalgic vote.
Plus, it's a fan vote. It's not. We're kind of predicting who's going to be in, who's going to be in. So I think Trout gets the vote.
Yeah. And then this next one, it shouldn't be much of a discussion. I think
it should not. No,
it's a clear and obvious one. How the hell is Ben Rice in here? Like, how is
this one's not even going to be up for discussion.
Like, he's been okay, but 229, 324, 741. He's played a lot of DH. He has a 0.7 WAR, so he's not like overly valuable. He has more home runs than O'Hearn, but O'Hearn has more RBIs, better batting average, OPS, on base percentage, slugging, OPS. Yeah, no, this one that was a pretty easy one there. Want to move to the National League?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. Introduce it, and I will have the stats up in just a second.
Yeah, this is another one. These two guys, these are the clear 1-2. And I mean, I know where we're voting already, but
yeah. And here's the thing, Toe. A lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's your Mets bias. It's your Mets bias." Put up the stats. Go ahead, put up the stats, and then we could talk about Mets bias here. Pete Alonso has a higher WAR, more hits, home runs, RBIs, stolen bases. 1-0 there. Sure, he has a better batting average and on-base percentage, but that happens when you have 65 less at-bats. Better slugging, better OPS, or for Pete Alonso. I don't think other than Dodger bias, you cannot tell me that Freddie Freeman deserves to be in the All-Star game more than Pete Alonso, other than LA Dodger bias. And with the fan voting here, we have a ton of Dodger bias.
We do.
And we have, I think Dodgers in every single position to vote on. And I think I'm not voting for Dodgers. And I think the first one I'll vote a Dodger for is
Will Smith. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a lot of Dodgers that made it that I think created snubs, personally.
There was no snubs in the first base position, though.
No. Freddie Freeman deserved to be a finalist, but he doesn't deserve to be the starter.
And the same goes with second base. There was no snubs. I believe Edman was the second best option.
Yeah.
You can make the argument for Brendan Donovan of the Cardinals, but
yeah, I'm
at
shocked.
The end of the day,
I'm shocked Brendan Donovan. I think Donovan would have been a little bit more of my choice. And let's take a quick look at the stats to kind of solidify our vote here for Ketel Marte. Marte has a higher WAR in less games played, more hits in less games played, and less at bats. More home runs. He has one less RBI. He has a better batting average, better on base percentage, better slugging, better OPS plus. Ketel Marte is your starting second baseman. I don't think it's particularly closer.
I am in 100% agreement.
Cool.
And I have a feeling that the next one, there's a little bit more of an argument for a Dodger here.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was typing it up. It takes me a second. But this is another one where just because he's a Dodger does not mean he needed to get voted into the final two. I think it's clear and obvious. Maybe not as clear and obvious as people would like to admit. It's Manny Machado. He has more hits, same amount of home runs, less RBIs, but that's just more of Max Muncy having more opportunities with that Dodger lineup. Manny Machado has more stolen bases, better batting average, better slug. The OPS slightly goes towards Muncy, but for me, it's Machado. I think Machado is the better of the two and deserves to start the All-Star game.
I think this is your first competitive one for voting a Dodger, and I'm still taking Manny Machado. So yeah, a lot of these were just fan voted in. The Dodgers are good, but are they a team that's good enough to have players in every single position to vote on? No, I don't think they are.
Yeah.
Although I don't. I'm gonna say there wasn't a snub. I'll say no snub for third base. There was 100% a snub for shortstop.
Yeah, I don't. Other than once again, Dodger bias. Mookie Betts is in the is that. How is Mookie Betts in here and not Elly De La Cruz?
I was about to say, can you go quickly put Elly De La Cruz's stats up there too? Because I feel like Elly De La Cruz is probably the biggest snub.
Here's the thing: I'm a Lindor backer.
I'm a Lindor guy. I'm clicking in Lindor right now. Elly De La Cruz deserves to be the starter.
Absolutely. And I think the only reason why Elly De La Cruz did not get into this phase two is Dodger bias. God damn, do we need a Dodger in every single position when we have players like Elly De La Cruz who blows away both Mookie Betts and Francisco Lindor? Lindor's your starting shortstop.
Yeah.
But I as a Lindor fan and as a Mets fan would vote Ellie De La Cruz over Francisco Lindor.
I would 100%. 100%.
But yeah,
that's gonna be your second biggest snub. Yeah. We'll talk about the biggest snub in a minute.
Yep. But yeah, let me go ahead and grab the next position battle.
Yeah, Francisco Lindor. I'll say I don't think the catching position's particularly close, and this is the first time I'll actually be willing to vote for a Dodger because the stats warrant it. Will Smith is the second best catcher in baseball behind Cal Raleigh.
Yeah,
I think that's fair to say.
And he's quietly that player because when you look at the numbers here, it's not particularly close. But
it's not
between him and Carson Kelly. Granted, he's played 13 more games, something to keep in mind as well. But when you look at Will Smith, I think he deserves it, and I would like to go out of my way to not vote for Dodgers, but this is just a Dodger you have to vote for. For me,
this is like the one Dodger I'm actually willing to vote for.
Yeah, like I don't know how the other Dodgers got into he's the only Dodger other than Ohtani that I would vote for.
Correct. This is going to be an interesting one. Outfield. And before we start, I know we're Mets fans. We're taking Ronald Acuna out. I'm sorry, you can't play. You can't be the All-Star Game starter. How many games has he played? 30? I know it's in Atlanta. No, you can't be the All-Star Game starter. With the lack of games, the best ability is availability. And Ronald Acuna Jr. just hasn't played all year. Like, he's played how many games? 34 games. No, you can honestly, we're taking Acuna out just right off the rip.
Yeah, just so we can get a better read, because of course he has a better batting average, on base percentage, slugging, and OPS than all the other guys.
He has played half the play appearances. Out of here. Goodbye.
Let me go ahead and do this real quick.
You know what, Nick? Here, while you do that, I'll make because I made the one argument against Ronald Acuna Jr. We'll put Stephen Kwan in.
Oh,
just because Trout's only played 50-something games. Best ability is availability. That's how we're judging it. There you go. I switched it.
Appreciate that. So yeah, then let's look. This is an interesting discussion. I think it starts with the two Cubbies, Kyle Tucker and Pete Armstrong. I think that these two guys definitely deserve to be voted in. Pete Armstrong leads this group in WAR. Has the most home runs, has the most RBIs, has the most stolen bases. Average is not the highest, but with someone like Pete Armstrong, I don't care because when he does get on, when he does do stuff, he makes a high impact. He steals bases. He causes havoc. He plays elite defense. Pete Armstrong is the first vote here for me.
I agree. And what we'll end up doing is PCA is the first one voted in. I 100% agree. He leads all the All-Stars all the outfielders in home runs and RBIs. He is the center field piece for the All-Star Game. Now, take him out of this, and we'll be able to go to the next, which is why Kyle Tucker gets the second vote.
Yeah, he leads the remaining group in hits, and stolen bases, and batting average, and on-base percentage, and slugging, and an OPS. Slashing 291, 395, 537 for a 931. This is one of the best outfielders in baseball, and he is going to get paid by someone this offseason. I think we're looking close to what Vladimir Guerrero Jr. got.
I agree. So you're gonna get an outfield with two Cubbies in there. Now, it's between a Met and two Dodgers.
And here's the thing.
Who's having the better season?
Who's having the best season of the three, though? Juan Soto's an all-star.
No, not only an all-star, a starter.
He's a start. And here's the thing.
He had 11 homers in June.
Yeah, I was going to say, when we did phase one voting, he wasn't even a vote for us. Like, we picked other guys over him, and he wasn't even part of the discussion. He's turned around his season. He had a ridiculous June. And when you look at his numbers, Juan Soto is an All-Star Game starter over Andy Pages, who I don't know how the fuck he got in here. I'm sorry. This last vote should have been James Wood.
I was about to say, can you quickly pull up James Wood's stats?
Absolutely.
And then we'll truly show you that saying, hey, I would have voted for James Woods over Juan Soto.
Absolutely, not even a question.
How did he not get in?
It's simple. We had to have Teo and Andy fucking Pages. This Dodger bias is annoying. I wanted James Wood. This is stupid. Fan voting is stupid. When James Wood didn't make it in.
Yep.
Absolutely.
James Wood is by far your biggest snub, followed by Earle de la Cruz and Jonathan Aranda.
Yep. 100% agree.
There you go.
This right here is the reason why fan voting is bullshit.
I agree.
So, yeah. Our final votes for Juan Soto, but it absolutely should have been James Wood. Absolutely.
100%.
And
so, here you go. Here's the All-Star Game starters, Nick.
Yeah. Vladimir Guerrero.
If they're done the right way, if everybody votes the way that they should, not with any bias, this is how it should be.
Yep. It would be Vladimir Guerrero Jr., be Gleyber Torres, be Jose Ramirez, Bobby Witt, Aaron Judge is already in. And we have Riley Green, Stephen Kwan, Cal Raleigh, Ryan O'Hearn. For the National League, Pete Alonso, Sterling Marte, Manny Machado. Ketel Marte, Manny Machado, Francisco Lindor, Kyle Tucker, Juan Soto, Pete Crow Armstrong, Will Smith, and Shohei Ohtani.
There you go. There is the All-Star Game voting, Nick.
Yeah. I'm sure everybody is going to be holding hands and singing Kumbaya with our picks here in this one. Absolutely nobody's gonna have a problem with it whatsoever. But that is everything for this video. Anything you would like to mention, Tim, before we head on out?
Get rid of fan voting.
I kind of agree.
Get rid of fan voting and make the All-Star Game mean something again.
I saw an interesting post by someone who said that we should do All-Star Game voting with an MLB team electoral college. Like your fan base only represents a certain amount of votes, and when you vote, the required tab is who's your favorite team, and if you click Dodgers, then Dodgers get a certain pull, like California gets a certain amount of electoral college votes, but it doesn't completely.
It should be based on the state you're voting in.
Yes, it should be based on who you click as your favorite team.
Because I can go and click Dodgers as my favorite team and then vote. It should be based on where you live out of. That's
fair. But yeah, I saw somebody do that as like a solution to not having one team have 7 finalists or something like that, where only one of them is truly worth voting for.
Correct.
But yeah, that is it for this video, though. We want to thank you guys as always for watching. Let us know in the comment section below. Who is your votes? Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? Let us know in the comment section down below. Well, that's going to do it for this one. I want to thank you guys as always for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you guys.